So I bet you're wondering how we're going to couple you up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have done it yourselves.
So I think the amazing twist was how they got coupled up, really. I mean, that was brilliant. That was a stroke of genius on part of Love Island, because you always see them who they kind of fancy most in an instant, and you kind of think that generally doesn't tend to work that well. So let's flip it on its head and let's do this kind of little task, which I don't think any of them saw coming, where they ranked, you know, the boyfriend material in order. The girls did it, and then the boys did it for the girls, and then they matched them up. And I sort of thought, at one extreme, what you got was Manveer and Mimi, who did look like the sublimely cool couple.
Yeah, buzzing.
But
beautiful, so.
you know, they were just the beautiful people, weren't they, that were put together. Didn't get any real sense of chemistry between them. But at the other end, now remind me who came bottom, it was Kieran and Harriet, who kind of could have resented being in the bottom of being kind of boyfriend, girlfriend material, but somehow actually leaned into each other about it and got on quite well. So they're kind of doing okay. But it was just really, I just think it was a very powerful thing to do in that show, to not allow the kind of instant looks, chemistry thing to take over and to couple them up in some other way. But then you get those that were pretty fed up with who they got landed with and wants to instantly kind of chat smack. Yeah, so she definitely didn't fancy him. She fancied Ronnie, and she made really speedily kind of launched herself in there. And you've got some of the others who are a bit more, okay, let's see what pans out, let's give it a moment. So you can again see differences in characters of those who are deeply impatient with what they've got and are kind of a bit scared they'll be lumbered, and those who say, okay, let me just see it evolve and where I might go, and made an effort even though there was somebody that they wouldn't have chosen. Yeah, I think she's really outspoken. I think she knows what she wants. She's not afraid to get it, or who she might have to, or the toes she might have to tread on to get there. So I think that marks her out already as someone who may not be the most popular, because she's maybe not got all the gold code that you'd like to see in someone. But then you've got Ao, who went for Mimi again. You know, he was another one who thought his eyes were popping out on stalks when she appeared, and the camera occasionally panned him, and he was still like, oh my god, wow. So he again moved in on there, and that was such an interesting dynamic, because Mimi clearly fancies him too, but she's more mature, she's more guarded, you know, a bit careful how flirty she was going to allow herself to get. She got a message delivered, but she didn't want it to go any further, and he was just like a kind of puppy all over her. And I kind of think they work well together. So, but I like to see people going for what they want, but I don't like to see people hurt others in a hasty process. Look, you are speaking to someone who reckoned that Ekin-Su and Davide were going to win the final a couple of years ago when nobody else thought they'd last the course. Occasionally I get it right, well, I get it wrong. But yeah, I do think they will last the course. I think what's going to happen is, look, they sent in Joey Essex at the very end. I think a lot of their bombshells, the sense is they're going to be other celebrities of some sort, which is really going to mess with minds in there, because even if they're coupled up and relatively happy, you know, it sorts out those who kind of really are in there for fame and to rub shoulders with fame, and those who are genuinely, they all say they genuinely want a long-term relationship. Even Kieran is like 21, he wants to settle down. I mean, he doesn't, but they've all got to say it. So I kind of think throwing in a few celebrities will definitely be quite divisive in that sense, and you'll see who's really on it for romance and who's really on it for, you know, some other kind of success.
I'm Joey, I'm 33, and I'm looking for love. I am the king of Essex, and I am ready to find my queen.
Interesting choice. He's older by 4 years than anybody else in there. He didn't even look like Joey Essex. Like, Joey Essex always had big hair, and he's like totally shorn now. He's quite a vulnerable soul. So I think the kind of girls in the house and the kind of guys probably will make friends with him, because I think his vulnerabilities will come out quite quickly. So I'm kind of interested. I can't see anything at the moment in terms of romance, but he's obviously got to pick somebody, and we'll see that tonight. And he presumably picks a girl, and the guy that he splits up may well be dumped, or they're certainly going to break up that relationship. So he's kind of threatening to the situation just by coming in. Bit of me that I think will end up wanting to protect him, so you don't want to see him get hurt by somebody that's either doesn't fancy him or kind of is with him out of kind of kindness, pity. I don't know. I don't want to see him get hurt. So, but he has got that significantly older than certainly most of the girls in there, and it'd be interesting. I thought they're a bit judgmental lot, aren't they? Bit stereotypy, because we had Nicole considered wifey because she was Welsh. Sam was judged because she partied too much. Another one, what's her name, was considered like maybe she shouldn't have been on there, Harriet, because she'd only broken up with someone 4 months ago. So kind of, look, hello guys, we're all in here for the same thing. I mean, I sort of felt they were already, some of them were categorizing people a little bit too quickly, or judging them for lifestyles that are fair enough.
Bit of infidelity, bit of cheating.
Oh, stinky.
Oh, have you ever cheated,
No, I haven't.
Have you ever cheated?
What?
That's right. And that was quite revealing, because there was a lot of pausing. So you know that, yes, they have when they pause. So either they were going flat, no, I haven't. They were kind of honest and going, yeah, I kind of did. One of them, Sean, what he said, yeah, I did, but then I only kissed a girl. I mean, he's quite old-fashioned, Sean. He's sort of sweet. Yeah, but then as soon as you sort of hesitate or look away, I mean, you're at a guilty party, really. You can just tell from the body language. But yeah, that was a pretty direct question in the first, like, 20 minutes of gathering together. There is a sort of sense of rush in this, and I don't know if it's because they've been coupled up in this weird way, or that was actually before they were coupled up. But there is this sort of sense of they want to kind of get to the person they're going to be with as soon as possible, so they can, because we know history tells us the longer lasting couples are most likely to go through to the end. So there is this hastiness to kind of like get themselves established in the couple so they can relax and then, you know, get on with it and you know, get into the final. I don't know, it's just, you just get senses at this stage. But you also know in that first show that the authenticity isn't really there. They all kind of merge a little bit into one, because no one wants to stand out too much. So it's all to play for, to see what their characters like. Oh, I think I might be no, Harriet was the kind of couple that come out of a relationship. Most stunning, most mature, most kind of warm, authentic. You could see that in a nanosecond, I think. She was much more grown up than anybody